Chicago Bulls' winning streak ended with 9 points, and the 99-113 loss to Dallas Mavericks began the upsurge of a 6-game winning streak. It wasn't going to last forever. The Chicago Bulls knew that long before the Dallas Mavericks snapped their 9-game winning streak, with a 113-99 victory Sunday at the American Airlines Center. In the final days of the streak, the Bulls' longest since 2011, coach Billy Donovan expressed concerns about the team defense loosening as the Bulls dropped out of the top 10 in the league's defensive ranking. Advertisement: "We cannot get clouded by the fact that we've won 9 games, Donovan said hours before Sunday's loss, the team's first since December 11th. We've got to put the winning aside and look at realistically where we have to get better and have to improve as a team." Defense was ultimately the downfall in the Bulls' first loss of 2022 as Luka Dončić and the Mavericks bombarded them from long range. Advertisement even after a long layoff due to an ankle injury, Dončić, who averages 25 points and 8.8 assists, was an automatic threat for the Bulls to try to diminish. Dosunmu and Lonzo Ball picked up Dončić at full court, gluing themselves to his hip and badgering him into a state of outright exasperation. Dončić spent much of the half with his face twisted in consternation, begging the referees for relief from the relentless attention. It's time for a change, but what will happen at Hallis Hall? Brad Biggs' 10 thoughts after the Chicago Bears lost their final game to finish the season 6-11. The message was clear: if someone was going to beat the Bulls, they wouldn't let it be Dončić. That approach paid off in the first half, in which Dončić went 3 of 4, 11 as the Bulls clung to a 55-54 lead after many lead changes. The Bulls went down by 8 to start the game, then scorched through an 18-point swing to take a 10-point lead by the end of the first quarter. But the Mavericks countered consistently through 3-point shooting, and in the second half Dončić figured out how to get to his spots, finishing with 22 points, 14 rebounds and 14 assists. Mavericks guard Luka Dončić is guarded by Bulls guard Lonzo Ball in the first half Sunday, January 9, 2022. In Dallas, the game highlighted a concern for Donovan since he returned from COVID-19. The prospect of what would happen when the Bulls' shooting dried up. They led the league in 3-point percentage through the winning streak, firing at an unprecedented clip from every area of the floor. But Donovan felt this pattern was unsustainable and worried how the team would compete when that shooting faltered. The Mavericks have posted the best defense in the league over the last 10 games, and are allowing only 103.4 points per game this season. This defensive pressure showed itself most starkly in the performance of the Bulls' biggest stars, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Nikola Vučević. Chicago Tribune Sports Newsletter weekdays, a daily sports newsletter delivered to your inbox for your morning commute. You are now following this newsletter. See all newsletters. The trio shot only 36.9% through the first 3 quarters, although DeRozan lifted his shooting over 50% by the final buzzer with his typical fourth-quarter efficiency. LaVine and Vučević ended the game shooting a combined 34.3%. Vučević scored only 13 points on 6 of a 17 shooting, while LaVine went 2 for 7 from 3-point range and 7 for 21 overall to finish with 20 points. Column: when the axe swings at Hallis Hall this week, which Bears leaders will be left standing? For now, Chicago must wait. We've shown that we can do it. I think it's just about us being more consistent, Vučević said. If you want to be the team that we want to be, then it has to be for 48 minutes. The lack of shooting spread to the rest of the roster. Kobe White scored in double figures for the 7th straight game but made only 1 layup in the second half. Ball hit only 3 shots on the night, although they were all from long range. Without enough scoring to make up for their defense, the Bulls couldn't manage a comeback. The loss began one of the most challenging periods of the season for the Bulls as they faced 6 games in 9 days. Because of rescheduled COVID-19 postponement, the Bulls will play 5 back-to-back sets in the next 6 weeks before the All-Star break, piling up workloads for a team barely recovered from its own COVID outbreak. That stretch will begin with 4 games in 5 nights this week. Donovan said the Bulls could rest and rotate several starters this week. The biggest thing we've got to see going into this stretch is how do these guys feel coming out of some of these games, Donovan said. We may do that, but just penciling in, hey, you're resting here and you're resting here, I think that would be hard to do without everybody getting together to talk about some of those things. Bulls guard Lonzo Ball drives against Mavericks guard Jalen Brunson in the first half Sunday, January 9, 2022. In Dallas,